So what were the venues that you played at back in the days in the Bronx? And um, who was your first band? Was it with Tito Rodriguez that you played in the Bronx, or was it?
That I played with?
Yes.
No, I think the first Bronx gigs. It took me a while to get to the Bronx. You know, when I first started, we would play in American venues like the Albemarle Towers or the St. Fortunatos and St. Rocco's churches, and these were places in Brooklyn and in Queens where the audience was made up of a few Hispanics, but basically American people, Italians and Jews, who loved to dance Latin music. And I think it was $3 to get in or something. And they paid us, I think, 15 or $14 to perform. Um, I had 6 guys in my band, and none of them were Hispanic. So we used to call it the Al Vega Sextet. And the people say, "Well, who's Al Vega?" And I said, "Him." You know. So there was no Al Vega. We had no lead singer because nobody could speak Spanish. So we would sing 8 bars of choral, and then do 8 bars of trumpet, choral, trumpet, choral. But we played good. We had the clave, we had the rhythm, but we didn't have the songs, and we didn't have the singer. And of course, no singer, the people had no one to fall in love with. Right. So that was it. Because you take one pretty boy, you put him in front of the band, and he's a star already, even though he can't sing. But it's really, if you think about it, it's really the band leaders, the Barrettos, the Pachecos, the Rowenas, the Bobby Valentines, that were the brains behind this salsa movement. And it could have, I had Ishmael Miranda, who started with me when he was 16 years old. And I boosted him up. And then after 7 years, he took off and started his own band. So then I got another one, the Junior Gonzalez, and Esther Sanchez, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's a natural progression of one band splitting up from another. For example, Ray Barretto split into Típica 73, split into Fascinación too, or Los Quimbos, or Los Quimbos became Fascinación or whatever. And everybody kept separating, and then we were more bands and more bands, and now there were more bands and there were work, so a lot of people went without eating a few nights. But we played in the Bronx. The Bronx had tons of clubs. It took me a while to get there, for the white boy to get to the Bronx. So we played in the Tri-Towns, and we played Colgate Gardens, and we played the Bronx Casino, and we played Hunts Point Palace. And there was so many of them, the Club Cubano. It was like going to school, for me anyway. It was like going to school and learning the real deal. I get to see all the greats play. In the late 50s, all the bands were coming to the Palladium in New York from Cuba. So I got to see Aragon and Chaputin and Benny Moré and all these people before I went to Cuba. So it was quite a difference. We became friends. I was still a student at 17, 18 years old, and they would say, "Come on, you want Judío, you want to play with us?" And I said, no, I'm not ready. And then I didn't see the guys from Aragon for maybe 10 years. And then in 1969, we ran into each other in Venezuela, and they were playing a street concert. And they said, "Judío." I said, "Yeah." I said, "You want to play with us?" I said, "Ahora sí." And then when I jumped in, and then they called Tres Lindas Cubanas, and I played that song with them, and I was so proud that I was able to play with Aragon. You know, and I was in my 20s at that point. But now we're friends. They come to the States, so we meet up, or we meet in Europe and have a couple laughs, a couple beers, and talk about the old days. A lot of them have passed away also. There's only 2 original members left in that band. But we keep on going, you know, like the Energizer, you know. But it was a lot of fun in the Bronx, you know. I discovered Hispanic women. And then that was it. I've been married several hundred times, I told you. And matter of fact, I'm getting married again shortly. She's due here in 2 days, so I'm very excited about that.